It should have been a left turn. Left!
Well, I'm just saying you're giving me sciatica.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finest thing to hit the internet since, Fire in the Hole!
Have you ever heard of Fire in the Hole?
It's the Bunk Baker Borealis Show. Please welcome our special guests, Shania and Mark Twain.
Looking rowdy, Bovon.
Congratulations on staying alive one more week, Bovon.
Yeah, and now I owe Shania $5 and a load of booze.
Damn right.
That's okay. It's gonna be the cheap stuff.
I am your promiscuous announcer, Bovon Fingerman, and I just finished watching all 7 of the Emmanuel movies. Now please welcome your ugly host. His favorite director is Michael Bay. It's Bogtrottin Burton.
He looks like Don Rickles' Grundle.
Okay, folks. The older I get, the more I come to realize that life is basically one protracted humiliation, during which you are forced to complete one odious task after another, even though you don't want to.
Many times, that's what the fuck life is. One vile fucking task after another.
In our case, the internet lowlives who comment on this channel have demanded that we cover this piss-poor movie, The NeverEnding Story II, the next chapter. Yeah, this one's for you, Lee Jones. Don't ever ask us for another favor.
Yeah, well, first we gotta talk about the production. See, the first NeverEnding Story was actually based on a book by this German guy named Michael Ende.
Mikey Mike absolutely hated the first movie, calling it a gigantic melodrama of kitsch, commerce, plush, and plastic.
I like children.
Yeah, he went to court to have his name removed from the film and prevent its release, but he lost that shit.
Barry, I gotta admit that I don't quite understand Michael Ende's gripe here. It's a story filled with flying dog dragons and racing snails and talking tortoises. Did he expect it to look like a David Fincher movie or something?
That actually sounds kind of badass. If Guillermo del Toro ever decides to relaunch the franchise, you can count me in.
Yeah, so by the time all the legal battles with Michael Ende had been resolved in the wake of the original 1984 NeverEnding Story, it was like 1989 or 1990. Who gives a shit? Listen, all the little shit-ass kid actors were too old to reprise their roles, so everybody got replaced like a dead puppy on Christmas.
Jesus, pink sucking Christ! Sometimes it seems like your childhood was directed by Alberto Giacometti.
Who the fuck?
Swiss modernist artist. You know, City Square, or the one with the dog. Overwhelming sense of despair and isolation? God damn it, never mind.
Highbrow, art-snobbing son of a bitch. And as we mentioned in the last NeverEnding Story video, the kid who played Atreyu, Noah Hathaway, was allegedly a bit of a prima donna Karen boy, so they probably didn't want him back anyway.
Well, I got just one question. Where the fuck is the Lamal song in this movie?
Don't worry. They substituted the Lamal song with a banger that's even better.
What?
Well,
You
that
deserve
sucks.
this.
Sounds like a
getting
symphony
heated.
of shit.
Jesus, limp dick and Christ. It's like the title song for one of those hokey-ass 80s sitcoms. I hate this goddamn movie already. Can we at least cue up that cover of the Limeall song that Barry ruined with his stupid drumming?
By ruined, I hope you mean elevated, asswipe.
No, that sucks. No, that's enough of this karaoke for drummers shit. Talk about the cast, Barry.
What do you want me to say, you little creep? You want to know who is willing to sign on for the sequel? I'll give you a hint. It's not Barret Oliver. It's not Noah Hathaway. It ain't Tammy Stronach, and it ain't Gerald McRaney. It's not these two old asswipes whose names I've forgotten.
Egg Winker and Urkel.
And it's not even the guy who voiced Falcor in Gamork.
His name was Atreyu.
So who?
It's the grumpy old asswipe who runs the bookstore. That's literally the only actor who is desperate enough to return to this shit heap of a movie. Instead of Barret Oliver, we got the late Jonathan Brandis playing the role of Bastian, and it only gets worse from there. Instead of Noah Hathaway as Atreyu, we got this little guy. And to add insult to shittery, they recycled footage from the first movie without even crediting Noah Hathaway.
Yeah, but don't worry, folks, because the childlike empress is a dead ringer.
They should have just said it was Atreyu's dumb little brother, Atreyu. And instead of the childlike empress, just say she's the childlike receptionist or some shit.
But worst of all is Bastian's dad, who in the land of withering photocracy decided to replace the great Gerald McRaney with dollar store Hank Azaria. Gerald McRaney was perfect as the hard-ass domineering daddy-o.
Stop daydreaming. Start facing your problems, okay?
Meanwhile, this fucking guy from the sequel looks like he's gonna stay up all night vaping and then hawk Bastian's Xbox on Craigslist so he can buy an air fryer.
Again, why even try to pretend that this is Bastian's dad? They should have just killed off the dad character and made this dickhead into a foster parent or whatever.
Okay, folks. Old Barry's pretty drunk already. Let's try our best to unravel the plot of this ass-stinking swamp fart of a movie. We start with Bastian trying to join the school swim team or dive team or whatever. There's just one problem. Bastian is scared shitless of the high dive, so he lies and says he's got a cramp.
What's the matter?
I got a cramp.
Which I guess is an excuse he stole off poor William Zabka.
I have got a really bad cramp. I've been having really bad cramps all week. It's probably menstrual.
Back at home, Bastian and his stupid-ass dad are experiencing some friction. Party Daddy's been going out to bang some mysterious hunk who always pulls up in his station wagon. And he don't even care that Bastian's been wearing his prettiest poncho gown.
Hey, look at that old rag you're wearing.
I like it. Mom made it.
Whoa, what?
Poor
Why is
fucking
Bastian
kid.
wearing that dust mask?
Nice drip!
What the hell?
God damn, even my drunk-ass mom sewed better-looking clothes than that.
Yo, he should wear that shit to prom.
Thank Christ the old bitch
Be
is dead.
hilarious.
This is hard to
God
watch.
damn! How drunk was she?
Yeah, shut up about his clothes, asswipes. So, as you might guess, old Bastian ends up going back to the bookstore so he can scour the self-help section for books about not being a wimpy little bitch boy. But he ends up with the same book he read last time, only this time it's got some extra chapters or something. We end up going back to Fantasia to meet the Empress's dumpy-looking sister. And then we head to this Silver City place where Bastian meets Nimbly. Pretty sure this thing was plagiarized from a Kids in the Hall sketch. Anyway, the set pieces are really impressive this time around.
Look.
Yeah, look at the matte painting. Isn't that just amazing? Can we get Bob Ross onto the set for some touch-ups, please?
Yeah, these effects are just seamless.
Oh, and we're supposed to believe that the water they poured onto this soundstage is actually acid.
Yeah, so in the novel, the acid comes from the tears of some butterfly creatures called schlammoofs.
Schlamoof? Is that what we're calling it these days? Well, last Sunday I schlammoofed a couple of hot buttery juggalos. When we were finished, I went in the back to smoke a cigarette and chug some Pedialyte.
Barry, make him stop.
When I came back, those juggalos were all tangled up in a full whoosh-woozle.
Bovon, the judge said you're not allowed to tell anymore.
Just asses, elbows, and geysers of Fago that issued from the damnedest places. I couldn't even tell who was the whoosh and who was the woozle. So I greased myself up.
Enough!
I grabbed a few strands of magnum-sized adult beads
No,
and
no, look, that's all I can take. Barry, please talk about the goddamn monsters in this movie.
Yeah, watch out, kiddos. There's an attack from some so-called giants, but I think they're just some fiberglass props that got recycled from the Dark Crystal. And then we got this diarrhea monster guy. He's a real crowd pleaser. Very inspired. Pretty sure this character shows up later in that Kevin Smith movie.
And if you thought Diarrhea Jones, Harp Lady, and the human volcano would come back into the story later on in an important or compelling way, you'd be fucking wrong.
Oh, and don't forget the vicious attack by this papier-mâché dragon.
So here's the scheme. In the first movie, we had this awesome, unique concept called the Nothing. Maybe it stood for nihilism. Maybe it was some kind of allegory for people who don't go to church or whatever. I don't fucking know anymore, but it looked cool as shit.
Yeah, and in this version we have the emptiness, which is spreading throughout Fantasia, and only Bastian can stop it.
It's the emptiness.
The emptiness? Yeah, what the fuck is the emptiness? I know we watched this movie together, but I still don't understand it, Barry.
I'm pretty sure the emptiness is just like the nothing, only it's not as cool.
Yeah, and instead of Gamork, the terrifying assassin wolf, we get this, Zaidi? That's a stupid name. Yet we get this villain woman played by piping hot supermodel Clarissa Burt.
Bro, she reminds me of the evil lady from that Power Rangers show.
Yeah, so the shtick is that Power Rangers lady has a memory machine thing. Every time Bastian makes a wish, he loses a memory. So if they can trick Bastian into making a bunch of wishes, he'll forget all about stopping the emptiness. And we can go watch a movie that doesn't suck a monkey's ass.
Yeah, and chances are, if there's something you loved from the original movie, it's gonna get ruined in the sequel. Case in point, remember that rockbiter guy you loved from the first movie? Well, now he's played by a different voice actor, and he's got a whiny-ass kid.
How would you describe the plot, Barry? I guess even the original is kind of episodic, huh?
It's one of those storm in the castle kind of plots. Bastian and Atreyu do successfully overthrow Zaida, but she's very hot and very manipulative, and she's able to turn Bastian against Atreyu by promising to bang him when he turns 18.
I have defeated you? We?
Yeah, and can somebody fetch some Clearasil for this fucking kid?
This movie's pretty fucking dark. Atreyu gets shoved off a damn cliff and plummets to the rocks. Sorta like that old guy in Midsummer.
Oh!
Meanwhile, young Bastian...
And Barret?
Time to get paid!
We know how you lowlifes enjoy your video games, so we've spent the last 6 months selling bodily plasma, teeth, and non-essential organs on the black market in order to bankroll a revolutionary new game for you ungrateful chuds, with a little help from our good friends at Poorhouse. We are proud as shit to release Barry's Adventures, Breath of the Bankrupt.
Well, is it an open worlder? I keep telling y'all the kids want everything to be open world these days. And it better be ultra high def.
Shut up! We are the only content creators out there who produce their own goddamn video game. And it's time we got the recognition we deserve.
Bro, there are like a million YouTubers who made their own games. What the hell are you talking about?
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, Steam, and Nintendo Switch 2. These are but a few of the consoles with which Breath of the Bankrupt is incompatible.
Yeah, because it's too much game for those shit-ass consoles to handle.
That's right, kiddos. You gotta have one of these. Optimized consoles from Temu. The handheld format allows you to experience reality through the eyes of a bankrupt, disease-ridden YouTube critic. Everybody hates you. Common pedestrians will try to piss on your shoes. Wild animals will hunt you down, and bitter old church ladies will blast you with pepper spray.
Well, do you get to play as any other characters? I mean, man, not even Barry wants to be Barry.
Shut up, asswipe. I'm in charge, and David Goggins says I'm the manager of my own destiny.
Experience entire seconds of pulse-pounding action as you tour pestilent cityscapes in search of cheese sandwiches, loose change, and, of course, true love.
Yeah, but watch out, little Barry. Be very careful. There are killer flies. Oh, baby, take that one bit, Barry. Grayscale little bitch.
Yeah, the game is designed so that it's impossible to win. I mean, even if the other characters don't wipe him out, the little Barry character's eventually gonna get hold of a firearm. Then it's just a matter of time before he...
Uh-oh.
What was that noise? Is Video Game Barry okay?
Look, it's still a fun game. You get to play as a YouTube, star. Right, folks?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, the promo code is... Christ. Up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Game on!
Okay, so Bastian is slowly losing his mind marbles, and eventually even his memories of his precious mother are in peril.
We're all part of a never-ending story.
God damn. I guess this memory-eating machine would be a godsend for a guy like you, huh, Barry?
Yeah, how much do they want for it? I'm willing to sell myself, sexually. See, because I can always just purge that memory, too.
You know, the original movie was 1,000 times more effective because the mother's absence was implied.
I had another dream, Dad. About Mom.
This sequel is so goddamn on the nose it would make Tommy Wiseau blush.
Even if we die?
Yes, Bastian.
Barry, is there anything positive we can say about this shit heap?
Well, I guess the laser beams actually look pretty cool. You got anything to add here, Bovon? Or are you just gonna stand there trying to remember where you left your goddamn hemorrhoid donut?
Well, I guess the chicken lady's pretty hot, but otherwise I had a hard time following the story.
You know, one of the shticks they pull in this version is that Bastian's stupid-ass dad is reading along as he saves Fantasia.
Well, why the fuck doesn't this man turn on the AC? He's sweating harder than Bovon when he watches Animal Planet.
Leave the man alone, Fly. It was 1990, and he probably sold all the copper wiring for a load of party powder. Who among us hasn't been down that road?
Yeah, so Bastian overthrows the evil Zaida by playing a little shit-ass trick on her.
I wish for you to have a heart.
And then everything goes back to normal like we're at the end of a goddamn Marvel movie or something.
So he wins by burdening her with compassion?
I guess it works.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so the ending does the best it can with the flimsy, uninspired story structure that gets set up during the first hour and 25 minutes of this cinematic gulag. Bastian comes home, and we're supposed to understand that he and his coke daddy have fortified their stupid relationship.
Well, why did Jonathan Brandis, you know?
Yeah, I understand the question.
Well, was it because of this stupid movie?
No, there's really no evidence for that. I mean, he went on to do Sequest and a bunch of other shit, but there seems to be evidence that, much like other kid actors like Jeff Cohen and Danny Corkle, Brandis was having a difficult time finding roles as an adult. Sequest got canceled in 1996, and it's likely that that was a pretty severe disappointment that made Brandis anxious about what he saw as his own dwindling prospects as an actor. Brandis' father is also on record stating that he believed his son was suffering from bipolar disorder and manic depression at the time of his death. God damn. Every single aspect of this movie is fucking depressing. This thing is cursed way harder than the Poltergeist movie. Fly, why is it that the true asswipes who are ruining this world never do a Brandis? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, bro, it's because the truly vile assholes love themselves too much. They'll live forever.
We gonna ask Al to weigh in? I don't know. Just seems cruel to make him comment on this bunk-ass movie.
One of the great cosmic jokes of our time is the vanishing distinction between fantasy and reality. A border we once assumed to be firm, but which, like all boundaries, decoheres when viewed at higher resolutions. This process is foreshadowed, I guess, in the NeverEnding Story II, a film in which the protagonist, Bastian, you know what? I don't give a pimpled possum pecker about this dreadful film. The irony is that we have now arrived at a moment where these fantasy movies hardly even qualify as fantasy. Most people experience their daily lives a lot like Bastian does, consuming pure slop and mistaking it for the real. And when you gaze into the slop gazes into you.
It had to have a medium in which it followed on. It had to have something in which it was moving on.
Fantasy has become our everyday phenomenological experience. It is the invisible ideological water through which we swim. The digital age has given rise to a landscape in which narratives, myths, and fictions merge seamlessly with our base-level reality.
I am closer to absolute truth than any man has been before.
Fake low and come high and do that kick that I've been teaching you and kick him in the head or the face, and he did exactly what I said.
Colds, flus, streps, even COVID, every disease.
Social media churns out an endless line of fecal personas who are far more convincing than their flesh and blood counterparts. Like Bastian's instantly granted wishes in the land of fantasia, the majority of our fantasies and desires can be satisfied in an instant. And yet, the cost, as the film suggests, is a kind of erosion of the collective human memory. Let me dumb it down. What's at stake for all you sniveling mortal idiots right now is the very ability to discern between the dream and the dreamer. And I'm not confident that you'll ever clap shut the storybook and return to reality, humble though it may be. In short, I'm grateful to be dead.
We hear ya, Al. Lucky bastard.
All right, folks, that's all we got for you now. Tune in next time. We're gonna live stream bovine circumcision.
Bangarang!
And then Marco's gonna tell us about the time he got sucker punched by Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Yeah, because you made a wrong turn, asswipe.
Yes, you are definitely fatter than
You gotta
think,
chase
Barry.
the dragon.
The what?
And no, that's not a metaphor for drug use.
My back
You
is
really
killing.
gotta chase the dragon.
Yes, you
No,
are.
stop complaining.
Oh,
It's
my
not
God.
that bad. Stop with
No, I can't
Hurry
even
up.
breathe. How are you this fat?
Ah!
Bro, that's all I got.
More power!
Oh, we're going
Give
down.
it some gas already.
It's
God
over.
damn.
God damn, even your voice is fat.
Pull up, asswipe.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Pull up, asswipe.
Are you ready? Fire!
Hot, buttery, juggalos.
You are uncertain.